working here. So first thing we do is we'll just give this a name, and then just hit this button to get code. Now, what it's actually doing is a couple things. First of all, we're going out and looking at all of the properties here and converting it into some basic CSS. And then we're just giving these very basic written instructions over to Codex. So we've got a handful of instructions here. We're saying to create a TypeScript file. Here's the name. We want to add some of this CSS. Let's convert that CSS to Tailwind, which is something that we do. Add an example of how to use it in your text. And so it's just kind of these step-by-step instructions and very generic. But you can see here, this is actually very similar to something that we would build out as actual production code. So this is all in TypeScript. You can see that we're using Tailwind here. It's adding the right styles to make all the rounded corners and the black background and the white text and the bold and everything. So that looks pretty good. Only we're missing something here. There's no click handler. So normally you would click and it would do something, right? So what's nice is you can just ask Codex to add it for you. So let's try it here. And we'll call it onClick. To the component. So, you can just, plain text. Let's see if it'll actually do it. And there it goes. So it added it to the interface here. It added it here, and there it is on click. Okay, so that looks good. Let's go ahead and now get some tests for this. So we're using Jest, which is our test runner, and same thing. We're basically just asking Codex, hey, here's an example of some code. Why don't you write some tests for it? And then when you're done, remove that example code, and this takes a sec. But here we go. So these are tests. Normally, you would write all these, and this isn't hard code to write. It just takes a long time to write all this. And so just to get it, this boilerplate stuff out of the box for free is really kind of cool. And it's doing snapshot testing. It's testing all the inputs. And then the last thing that we also do for our production code is we're using something called Storybook, which allows you to have a visual representation of this and do some visual testing as well. I'm kind of cheating here, so the way I have it set up is we're just posting an example of what that component looks like, and then asking it to make some stories based on that. So this is something that you could easily automate. I just doing this for a test. All right, so here we go. So here's our Storybook story. So you would just kind of save this in as as your basic story. Developers know how to do this. We're testing the text here. We're adding some emojis. We've got all these knobs and things in here. And so, yeah, this all looks pretty good. This isn't going to be perfect. You'll still have to go through and tweak it, but it really helps to accelerate the code process. And so, yeah, I think it's a kind of interesting exploration, and just wanted to share this here.